Hi, welcome back to the World Go channel. I'm your host and self-appointed Go evangelist, James Story. This is lesson 4.6.1, Life and Death of Small Groups. This is review 1. Get that out of the way. So for each of these black groups, in a moment I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and for each of these black groups, you should be able to tell me if it's alive as it stands. That means black doesn't need to do anything unless white makes a move. It's still alive. If white makes a move, black can answer and keep the group alive. Or if no matter what black does, it's dead. Or if it's uncertain. In other words, alive or dead in sente. Whoever has sente will, if black has sente, if they have the move, they can make a move and keep it alive. And if white has, it's their move, then they can make a move and kill or capture the group. So once again, you tell me whether the group is alive, dead, or alive or dead in sente. In other words, if black makes a move, they can save the group, but if it's not black's turn, it's white's turn, they can capture. So go ahead and pause the group. I will wait. Pause the video. I will wait. And when you figured out whether each group is alive or dead or uncertain, alive or dead in sente as they call it, start the video again and we'll review them. Thanks. Pause it now. Welcome back. So let's start in the upper right-hand corner here. Here's a straight 3, and it's uncertain. If black plays there, they get 2 eyes. However, if white plays there, black's going to just have 1 eye, and that black group will be considered captured at the end of the game. The only way that black can save these stones is if black is able to come around and capture this white group, which is in this situation pretty unfeasible. So the next one here, we have a straight 4. There's 2 points, 2 me-eye points, or 2 vital points rather, in the group where black can save it. Notice they have a straight 3 with a vital point here and a straight 3 with a vital point there. So black can play here and save the group, or they can play here and save the group. This is not urgent. Black would not waste a move in there. In fact, if they do, they lose a point, don't they? Because they cover up one of their own points of territory. They would only respond if white played one, and then black would play the other vital point. And so this is alive as it stands, but white has a co-threat. They can play there, and if black doesn't respond, they can play the other vital point. And then they can throw in another stone, Atari, and when black comes back in and captures, white comes back in and plays the vital point and kills the group. So this is alive as it stands, but once again, white has a co-threat here. Okay, so the one here in the corner, a little panuki shape, little forehead shape, this is alive as it stands. White would have to play here, and then one of these shoulders to kill the group. These are the 2 eyes of the group. So notice when white plays here, black needs to play this one, because if white gets to here, this is not a real eye. So black would play there. If white throws in here, black can take, but notice white doesn't have a stone here, so it's not really a co-threat. White could come back and capture, Atari, but black would just connect, and then they have 2 eyes. So if instead white just comes down, black just fills, and once again they have 2 eyes. So this group here is alive as it stands. Notice if white had this though, then even though black got this in, let's see here, white could play one of these. Nope, black's still going to be alive, aren't they? They sure are. However, if it's like this and it's white's move, they're going to play this, and notice white's going to play here or here. Black can block one, but they can't block the other. They put this stone in Atari, and then that's not a real eye. But the situation originally was like this, and this is alive as it stands. All right, let's go over to this one here. Actually, start with this one here. This is a pyramid 4, isn't it? So it has 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice there's a straight 3 with a vital point here, a bent 3 with a vital point here, and another bent 3 with a vital point here. But there's just one vital point in the shape there. So there's the straight 3 with a vital point there in the middle, and the bent 3, 2 bent 3s with a vital point there. So if black plays here, they get 3 eyes, 1, 2, 3. However, if white gets to there, then this group is dead. And white, if they have to, can keep throwing stones in and make an Atari. They can do a bent 3 or a straight 3. They can make either one. Then when black captured, white would come back in and play the vital point of the straight 3. This one here is a bulky 5 that's very similar to a pyramid 4. Remember, it looks like a pyramid 4 if you add this stone. And the vital point is the same. So here was the vital point in the pyramid 4. So it's going to be the same in the bulky 5. If white gets to there, black is going to be dead as it stands. If black gets to there, then they are alive. If white gets to there, black actually has a co-threat. They're dead as they stand here, black, but they could play either here or here. And then if it's white's turn, if white fills the co, black can play here and create 2 eyes. But if white says, no, we're gonna kill this group, then they'd get on the 2 points of the zigzag 4, wouldn't they? But then black would get to retake the co. So we just went through this one. This should be easy to answer now. This is a zigzag 4. And there's 2 ways for black to save this. One is here, and one is there. So this is alive as it stands. Once again, white does have a co-threat, though. White can play one of those points. And if black wants to save that group, they have to play the other. But then white gets to retake the co, don't they? Okay, so here we have another 4. It's a bent 4. And there's 2 groups. There's 2 vital points within that group. Notice there's a straight 3 with a vital point here. And there's a bent 3 with a vital point there in the corner. So black can play here, or they can play here, and the group will survive. Black doesn't have to do this. This is not urgent. But if white needs a co-threat, they can play one of these, and then black can save the group by playing there. But then white gets to retake the co. Or if the co is much bigger than this group, then black would fill the co, but then white would get to play there and be on both the vital points of the group and be able to kill the group. Let's look down here now at this shape. It's a rectangular 6. Notice there's a straight 3 with a vital point here and another straight 3 with a vital point here. So there's 2 vital points within the shape. So if white plays one, black simply plays the other. So this is alive as it stands. If white dodges this way then black plays here, and they've created 2 eyes. Or if white dodges this way, black blocks here, and they've created 2 eyes. Notice that we had white playing this move first, but if white plays this move first, it's just the same shape flipped over, isn't it? So black would then play here. If white dodged this way, black would block there and have 2 eyes. And if white dodged this way, then black would play there and have 2 eyes. All right. White could play here. Black would block. White could try to Atari, but black can just take, can't they, and make 2 eyes. So that's alive as it stands. Notice that white could use this as a co-threat. White plays there. Black plays here. Then white has another co-threat here. All right. And if black wants to save this group, they play here. However, they can choose not to. They could choose to fill the co, and then white would play here. If they play here, they just get captured, don't they? If they play here, they get captured. So they would play here, and then this would be Seki. Notice black doesn't want to fill in one of these because it's self-Atari. And if white fills in one, black is happy to capture, and now black has a bent 4, which is a living shape. So if white plays one of the moves of the bent 4, one of the vital points, black simply saves the group by playing the other. All right, let's look at this one here now on the top. This is a straight 4. I think we just did this one, didn't we? So it's basically 2 vital points here and here. So black can play either place. White can play one and have a co-threat. All right, we did this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Let's look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So is this alive or dead or uncertain? 7 on the side is uncertain. In other words, it's alive or dead in Sente. If it's black's turn, they can just come down and make a foot. Either side, it doesn't matter. When white comes into here, black blocks, and now black has a straight 4. So white wouldn't do that really because it doesn't really help them. That'd be like an endgame move. But notice, if they play here and black ignores it, then white comes in, and when black blocks, they've created a straight 3 along the side here. All these 2 stones are an Atari, but that's not going to concern white. They're going to come in here and play that. And when black captures here, notice black needs to play here to solidify that that corner of that shoulder of this eye, but it's white's turn. Even if white doesn't have a stone here, let's say it was something like this, white would still throw in. Oops, would still throw in, and when black captured, then they could come back and Atari. But it's like this. So it was like this, and white said Atari, and black captured. All right, and then white comes to here, and even though black fills in, that's not an eye. So 7 on the side is alive or dead in Sente. So if white gets to play in there, they're going to play here. If it's white's move there, they're going to come around the other corner to here. Black blocks, and now you see the straight 3. It's white's turn, and they come in and capture the group. If it's black's turn, though, once again, they play down and make one of the feet. White knows this is alive, so white saves it for a co-threat. They play there. Black blocks. White retakes the co. They keep going. Maybe black has a co-threat that white has to respond to, and then black retakes the co. So then white needs another co-threat. They're going to play here. Notice if they get here, they're going to have the 2 vital points of the straight 4, aren't they? So black would, if they wanted to save this group, play here, but then white would get to retake the co. So notice in this 7 on the side, it's alive or dead in Sente, and even though black plays, white still has 2 co-threats. Okay, up here, or down here at the corner, up for me, down for you. That's a bent 3, and that's alive or dead in Sente. If black gets this move in, they have 2 eyes, don't they, in the corner, and then just diagonal from that. However, if it's white's turn, they get to play there, and that's dead as it stands. All right, we come here to the other corner. This is a straight 5, so we had 7. That's the number to remember on the side. 7 is alive or dead in Sente. This is 5. This is alive or dead in Sente. So if black is able to play here, then they get a straight 4, and they have 2 points to make, 2 vital points that they can play, right? White would then wait for a co-fight if they had one in the game, and they would play one of the vital points, and if black wanted to save that group, they would play the other vital point, but then white could retake the co. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. However, the straight 5 in the corner is, like I said, alive or dead in Sente. If black gets to play, they'll save the group, but if white gets to play, they come here around the corner, black blocks, but notice the straight 3, and now white comes in and plays the vital point and kills the shape. So in the corner, 5 is alive or dead in Sente. Anything bigger is alive, anything less is dead. And on the side here, it's 7 is alive or dead in Sente. Anything larger than that is alive, and anything shorter than that is dead. This should make this last one very easy for you, or second to last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you say, okay, well, that's dead, because you just said it has to have 7 in a row to be and Sente. But notice if it's black's turn, they've already got one foot down, so they get to play the other foot, and they make a straight 4, don't they? So if you take this out, then yes, black is dead as it stands. But if it's black's turn, they get to put the other foot down, and they get a straight 4, and there's 2 vital points in there. However, if it's white's turn, even though black has one of the feet down, since it's only 6 long, white would come around the corner, and now when black blocked, black ends up with a straight 3, and white would come to the vital point of the straight 3 and kill that shape. And the black stones would be dead at the end of the game unless they could capture the white stones that are surrounding them. In this case, that's pretty impossible. Here's another shape here, our last shape. This is in Japan they call it a rabbity 6. We call it kind of a flowery 6. This is supposed to be the head of the rabbit and the little 2 floppy ears. Notice it looks just like a bulky 5 from this position, and here's the vital point, or a bulky 5 from this position, and here's the vital point. So no matter how you look at it, this extra one of these extra little ears doesn't help. It's a alive or dead in Sente. Black plays here, and they have 1, 2, 3 eyes. If white plays there, then black is dead as it stands. However, if black needs a co-threat, they can play here. Now if white wants to kill this group, they would play there. All right? but because if they don't, if they connect the co, then black is going to come and save this group. Now they have two eyes, one here and one here. All right. But if white wanted to play there, they would kill the group then. Now, let's say that that black is starting to surround and threaten to capture the white stones that are surrounding here. And we'll just go ahead and fill in these places around black. So, all right, so we get all these filled in. But imagine that black is threatening to somehow capture these white stones around there. So white has to capture the black group. Normally, in this situation, as it is in the board, in this situation, as it stands in the board right now, the black stones would just be considered captured, and they would come off at the end of the game and be prisoners. But let's say that black somehow started to surround these white stones. Okay, we'll just clean guys off here. And we're threatening to capture the white group, okay? All right, so they're threatening to capture this white group. And there's no way for white to get out. Okay, they're not able to get out. But they still have some outside liberties. So white has to then capture this group of black stones before black captures the white stones, kind of a capturing race there. Well, what white wants to make sure they do is they want to make sure that they keep forming dead shapes within this group. So this is fine. They've just made a straight 3. That's a dead shape. But their next move is very important. If they play here, that's a pyramid 4. That's a dead shape. So when black recaptures, white just comes back into the middle here, don't they? They would come back in and play here and have the vital point of the pyramid 4. However, so white was here. They played the straight 3. This would be a great mistake for white to play this shape because this is a bent 4 and this is alive. So when black would capture this, when black captures this, then black has 2 points for me-I in here, don't they? For life, rather. 2 vital points. They can play here or here. So this group would then be alive. Black could play either one. If white played one, black just plays the other, and now the black group is unconditionally alive, and now black can go ahead and finish capturing this white group that surrounds their black group. So it's important if your stones that are surrounding this, a group that looks dead, once white plays there it is, that when you go to capture it by throwing stones inside of it, you continue to make dead shapes. Okay? If white plays this, I said, well, it's a try. I mean, it's a bent 3. That's fine. But notice when black plays here, well, they're in the self-atari. Let's give them a lift. Let's give them a little air pocket there. All right. Now, no, and now they're still dead, aren't they? Because black still can't, even if they capture these. White's not going to play this one first, right? They're going to play this one first, sorry. So black is going to go ahead and capture those. And, but white still, if black captures those, white can still come in and play the vital point of the bent 3. But once again, we'll go back here just to reiterate. So white was here. They had a co-threat. Black responded to the co. Then white played here. And now this is dead as it stands. And white wants to throw in and make dead shapes. So there's a straight 3, there's a dead shape. They could do the bent 3 first, but I like this a little better. It's a little easier to see. There's a pyramid 4, and when black retakes here, it's white's turn, and now white comes in and takes the vital point of the pyramid 4. So this is also going to depend on how many liberties are on the outside of this shape, because notice black isn't captured yet. So when black plays another move, white still has to keep throwing in stones, don't they? And black comes to here now, and white throws in another stone, atari. Black takes. White comes back in, takes the vital point, and then black plays another move. Notice that black has 2 White has 3, 1, 2, 3 liberties. White comes in now, though. Atari. Black captures. And whenever white wants to, they can just keep finishing black off. Here, here. And they can play this Atari because they have 2 points on the outside, right? Ooh, they barely scrape by with that one. Anyway, that is review 1 of the life and death of small groups. I hope you found that helpful. If you had any problems with the life and death of some of these, then please go back and review the other lessons on the life and death of small groups. Once again, thanks for watching the World Go channel, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.